Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Inherently Lazy with Austin Killian. I am, of course, your primary host, your only host, as of right now, Austin Killian. Literally, my name is in the title, so I don't know why I need to announce it so much. Again, my name is Austin Killian. It's been a good week, actually. It's been a really good week. I hope you guys all had a fantastic week as well. Let's see here. Let's go through the things. I need to stop saying so much. Let's go through some of the things that I was able to accomplish this week. Number one, I was able to, just get a lot of stuff done. We were able to get a lot of stuff done around the house, and the place is kind of cleaner, which always feels good. Being able to live in like a nice clean house, it reduces stress a lot, which helps especially in the creative process, but helps reduce stress just throughout the day and all the different things that you need to get done, especially when you're trying to take care of a kid and just being there for your wife and all that stuff. This week, I think it was a good week, and then there were obviously some downs. I just kind of want to get this out of the way. I don't know at the beginning, but this week was also a celebration for my brother's birthday. He passed away about 3 years ago in 2016. So, and he passed away about, less than a month ago. 3 years ago. Less than a month ago, 3 years ago, we celebrated his birthday on the 3rd. I'm currently recording on the 4th, so that was yesterday, which, I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet, but yesterday was a great day, and I'll report on that in a second, because it kind of has to do with some of my goals. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I hope you guys were able to have fun, and hopefully you guys were able to achieve some goals of your own. And why don't we just go ahead and get into that? So, let's go back to some of the goals that I was telling you that I was going to do. First, I wanted to stream 2 days. That was Tuesday and Thursday. I did do that. Fantastic. First stream I did was Stardew Valley, and that was good. We had only like one viewer, but that's okay. Aiden Blair, he's a guy that always shows up every single time to the streams, which I'm super appreciative of. And he was also able to freaking get onto the wiki and tell me the things that I needed to do. Also, congrats to that guy, because he got an early birthday present from his parents, which was a brand new PC. Fantastic, dude. Good on him. His parents, are you kidding me? Getting him a PC for his birthday? Woo-wee. Hope he had a good birthday. I think that's actually today. So, yeah. Happy birthday, buddy. Anyway, so I streamed Stardew Valley on Tuesday, and then I streamed Call of Duty Black Ops yesterday on my brother's birthday. That's just kind of the thing that I like to do every year on his birthday. I like playing Call of Duty Black Ops because it's a game that we used to play a lot. And I decided to stream that, and it was actually a very successful stream, by my standards at least. I think, so here's some of the stats, and I don't have them up or anything, but I'm just going to try to remember. We had 20 unique viewers, which was super cool. That was way up from last time, which was just one unique viewer. We had 5 new followers on Twitch, which was super cool. And I think we had like 118 chats or like comments. And I only streamed for like an hour and a half or something like that. And let's see here, I don't know. And we had about 3 concurrent viewers, which was up from 1 on Tuesday. So that's super cool, and I'm super excited about that. And I think that was a very successful stream, even compared to like the first, Tuesday stream. I think that's awesome. We're moving up, and hopefully the numbers just keep growing. If not, it's not the end of the world, but that'd be awesome to see a bigger trend. And then, so that was the Twitch streaming goal. And then the second goal that I had was getting the home page finished for my parents' website that I'm just kind of doing mock-ups for and all that stuff. I've heard that they've needed a new website from my dad, and so I thought that I might go ahead and just get some development going for that, because I have that skill. If I'm in the family and I have that skill, might as well try to jump on that and show them what I'm capable of, and maybe we can get a site up for them, a new site that actually works and doesn't go down every 5 seconds. So I said that I'll get the homepage done and the footer, and the homepage is done. There still might be some tweaks that I want to make to it, but as of right now, the structure of it and the components and all that stuff is done. Plus, I did something that was kind of cool. That was, what was it? I added like these cool, actually it was my wife's idea. added in this possible background, which is like it's these. Well, they're going to be like popcorn pieces or something like that. But as of right now, they're just circles as a placeholder. But it'll just be like these circles that are just kind of throughout the entire thing in the background that'll pop up, like just pop, like a popcorn popping as you scroll through the page. And I think that'll add a lot of cool, fresh, excitement, and it'll be more inviting for the website. And totally my wife's idea. Kudos to her. Fantastic right-hand lady, if that's even a term. Right-hand man is the term, but I'm trying to figure out how to make that work with the other gender. So anyway, so kudos to her. Round of applause. Yay! And I'm really excited to see how that turns out. It's super cool looking so far. And we'll have more to talk about with the goals for that later. So let's see here. Now, I'm really excited to get all that stuff done. I'm so excited that I got those goals done, that I actually accomplished them, achieved them. It feels good to get stuff done. I'm super excited about that. And I kind of wanted to talk now, and this is going to be the way that future episodes go. I kind of want to choose like one topic to talk about. Obviously, I'm not an aficionado on it. I don't know too much about, like I've tried a lot of creative projects in the past and trying to put them out there and make them a success. But I haven't been able to turn them into what I've wanted, which is, a possible secondary income / full-time job. And so throughout this podcast, I kind of wanted to come up with different topics that I can try to do a little bit of research on and try to implement that into my weekly goals to hopefully get better at this, not only podcasting, but putting projects out there and making sure that they're actually successful and seeing growth. So the topic that I wanted to talk about today is social media and using that as basically advertisement for your projects. Now, that's something that I struggle with. I go onto social media a lot. I go onto Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I check things out, Reddit. I look at all the things, and I have fun, scrolling through. But again, that's another time waster that I talked about last week. And something that I wanted to do and that I've seen done is having social media as a platform to kind of put your projects out there. Now, I think there's right ways to do it, and I think there's wrong ways to do it. And obviously, this is just kind of something that I'm workshopping. I'm not an expert at it, obviously, but this is something that I want to work on, and hopefully it'll grow into a strength of mine to project my projects onto other people that might be interested in them and get them or get more eyes on the projects of people that would actually enjoy them. So, in my mind, there's a few major social media applications that we should always be aware of and that we should be utilizing. So did I say like two? I don't know. I don't know if I gave a specific number, but in my mind, there's like three, right? Number one, there's Facebook. That one seems to be on the lower end of the totem pole. Super important for Facebook groups and Facebook pages and all that stuff. And so that's one of them. Then there's Twitter, which is huge with, I don't know, more like super popular people for sure. People, that are already famous. It's kind of hard if you don't have some kind of success already to be seen on there, but it's still a really good avenue, and I think that's important. But I think one of the most important social media platforms to be posted on to get your project seen by people, I would think, is Instagram. That seems to be the place where you can be a normal person and put your projects out there, and a lot of people are going to see them by mere happenstance, or people are following you, whatever. I think it's an exciting platform, in my opinion, that could possibly really grow your projects. Now, again, I'm not an expert, but this is just kind of from what I've seen from other people. Let me take a drink of water real quick. So, now, with all that in mind, let's go ahead and go with Facebook. Let's talk about that real quick. That one is probably the lowest on the totem pole for sure for me. Facebook pages are important though for communities. Definitely. Now, you're not necessarily going to see a lot of growth as far as getting new eyes on them, but in order to keep your fan base engaged, I think Facebook groups are good. There are people that use them, or Facebook pages rather. They use them, they stay up to date, you're able to post your posts on there, people could see them. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be super concerned with that right now, but I thought that it would be super important to talk about. Super important to talk about. It's a good thing to talk about, something to be aware of. If it's going to hinder you in getting your projects out there, then by all means, give it a rest or put that on the back burner until you feel like you have a handle on things, in my opinion. But it is a good place to put your posts up of I don't know, whatever project that you worked on that week, or like a video. If you have a video or podcast, go ahead and put it up on there. It gives a place for fans to discuss the episode, to have fun conversation, and to just joke around for sure. And then it'll keep the fans engaged for sure, or listeners or readers or viewers or whatever, So I think that Facebook pages is good. I'm probably not going to utilize it quite yet because I don't want it to feel overwhelmed, but I think that's a good place to be. Second up on the list is Twitter. It's very important. It doesn't really require that much as Facebook pages, in my opinion. When I look at Facebook pages, I just feel like the whole setup is convoluted. Maybe I'm just an idiot because I haven't even done it. Maybe I'm totally talking out of turn here, but I look at Facebook and it gives me anxiety. So that's why I don't do it. Twitter, on the other hand, you get 240 characters, you put up a link or a photo or whatever, and then people are able to go to whatever it is. And it's just that, and you click create or whatever, or post. And that's just about it. Obviously, you got to put in your hashtags and all that stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. But it seems really intuitive. It's pretty easy. You might not get super hardcore eyes on it because, again, I swear I look at Twitter and it's only popular people that are already established, that have a fan base, that really post there and really see success there. But it shouldn't stop you from posting. Now, I've heard and I've seen a lot that if you're going to try to have a presence on Twitter, you should post at least 3 posts a day. Now, that could be just about anything, right? I don't know exactly what kind of post that you would probably want to do, but I mean, at least one could be an advertisement for whatever project that you're working on. Another one can just be in a day in your life so that people are interested in what you're doing. And another one could be maybe not necessarily an advertisement for a project, but a mixture between that and a day in the life, right? And what I mean by that is, like, a day in the life is like, hey, I'm going swimming, I'm so excited. Or, hey, I'm reading this comic, it's super cool, I freaking love it, Just something that you're doing that's interesting, and maybe you'll strike up a conversation with someone random, and they look at that post and like, oh, I read that comic. Maybe I'll comment and say, hey, I love this one too. Are you liking it so far? You know what I mean? You're getting some kind of engagement with someone. You're going to see maybe possibly a new fan in the future, someone to discuss some of the projects that you're working on. But not only that, gaining a new friend, and why not, I think the line between friendship and fans, or whatever you want to call them, I don't know, fans, yeah, sure, your fan base, I think those lines should be blurred a little bit. Your fans should be your friends, and your friends can be your fans, you know what I mean? So why not? Why not blur that line? So that is, a day in the life kind of post to hopefully make a new friend and hopefully a new viewer as well. Why not? And then there are, advertisement kind of posts where you just straight up advertise your product, whatever post that you just put up. Hey, I got a new episode of this. If you love this kind of thing, go check it out. Thanks for the support. I love you guys. And that might not necessarily be directed towards new people, but that's definitely directed towards your existing fan base so that they know that there's a new product up. They get that notification. They're like, oh yeah, I got to go check this out and download it right now. You know what I mean? So that post, I would say, is meant for your existing fan base. And then you got a day in the life mixed in with your advertisement. Like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna go record the new podcast right now. This is this is going to be an awesome episode. I can already feel it. I already planned it out, and it's going to be huge. I'm super pumped for that. Or you could do a post after the product's done, and like, I just got done recording this. Like, for example, I just got done recording this episode. Holy crap, you guys are in for a treat. This is my best episode yet, type of thing, you know? And that's kind of a day in the life. You're showing what you're working on. People are interested. Oh, I've always wanted to record a podcast. I wonder what he does to get ready for it or whatever, you know? And then / you kind of talk about your podcast, and like, then they decide to maybe turn on the bell or like the notifications or whatever, so that they can see possibly when you post about that podcast. Or maybe they scroll backwards in your feed and they say, oh, here's a link to one of his previous episodes. I'm going to go download that now. So I think that is something that's super useful. And all these, you know, these 3 posts that I talk about, that can be carried over into the next platform, which is Instagram. Instagram is probably, in my opinion, one of the better places for just an average Joe like me who's working on a cool project to just go ahead and put up something, right? And you can use that exact same thing or guideline or whatever for the kind of post that you put up into your Instagram posts or Instagram stories. Now, I think I heard something about regular posts on Instagram. You want to post, you know, at least 1 a day, and you don't need to post too many just regular posts, because that definitely convolutes your like other people's feeds, because they're already following a ton of people scrolling all the way through. Oh, it gets crazy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to keep posting. You know, maybe you do just post the 1 on your regular feed, but your Instagram stories, hey, that is a completely different story. There are plenty of Instagram users that have millions of Instagram story shots or whatever it's called. I don't even know what they're called, but they just have a ton of them, right? And here's one that I want to say, and I hope they doesn't listen to this later and think, oh, this guy's calling me out, or he's annoyed with me or whatever. He's trying to talk me, trying to punch down, or not even punch down, punch up. He's successful. But there's this guy that I've followed for a while now called Zach. His name is Zach Schaumler. And if you don't know him already, he has this podcast called Strong Opinion Sports. He puts it up on iTunes, SoundCloud, I think Spotify, all the stuff, you name it, and he puts it up on his YouTube channel as well. And he also is really helpful about it. He has breakouts that he does, where it's, you know, he has the full show, but then he also has like snippets of his show that you can watch if you just want to view a very specific topic and you don't necessarily want to watch the entire episode. But man, this guy is a master at his craft. Now, I only know about him because I made a song a long time ago called, Downfall of Man, right? And I submitted it to a podcast that I listened to, and at the end of, and that show's done now. What is it called? It's a show that Colin Moriarty and Greg Miller used to do. It was a PlayStation podcast. I can't remember, but it was for their company, Kind of Funny. Since then, Colin Moriarty's left. But anyways, I've submitted to that show, and they played my song and kind of pimped it out or whatever, and people went and listened to it on my channel, and I got a lot of views and listens and downloads on Bandcamp. A couple of people bought the song, which was super cool. But one of the people that interacted with me was Zach Schaumler, and he said, you know, awesome song, dude. I loved it. You know, I'm super excited to see what kind of stuff you come up with in the future. Since then, I haven't really done hardly anything with music, but me and him and I don't know what the correct usage of that is. We have kind of stayed in touch, you know, and we talk here and there. And he started doing that Strong Opinion Sports show. I guess that was probably, I don't know, 2 to 3 years ago? Something like that. I don't remember exactly when it started. But he started doing it around that time. And I was watching him since the beginning. I was watching him when he only had like 1 subscriber or whatever. You know, I wanted to support the guy because he was supporting me, and I felt like I owed it to him, you know what I mean? He's one of my first supporters. Why not support him? And I watching him, I mean, it was kind of a struggle for a while, you know, but he kept working and working and working. and he put all the effort that he possibly could put into it. And now, are you kidding me? Now he has 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay, this is 3 years ago, right? Started from literally nothing. Okay, and now he has 100,000 subscribers, and his videos typically get at least 10,000 views to sometimes 100,000 views. And or more often than not, he gets around like 40,000 views on his videos. You got to give it like maybe a week or so, but it racks up. And it's absolutely incredible, the growth that I've seen in that guy, especially with his podcasting skills. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I have experience, but this guy, dude, he puts out episodes like twice a week, or at least he used to. I don't know necessarily right now. I'm pretty sure he puts up a couple episodes a week, maybe just one a week now. And he is so comfortable with the mic. He knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, now I just wanted to say all this so that I can give you a little bit of context to this guy and where he started from and where he is now. I would love to have an interview with this guy later on so he can talk about his tips and what helped him drive him to the success that he's at now. And so hopefully I'll have him on in the future. I would absolutely love it. I think he would be up for it too, but it's just a matter of getting it going. And I know that he has a good mic setup, so his quality is going to be great on his end. Honestly, his quality is going to be better than mine, I'm sure. He's got a really fancy mic. But I tell you all this, one of the things that he did from the beginning was he was on Instagram constantly, and he still is. Okay, his Instagram stories blew up. It started from like a couple a day, and now he gets like, I don't know, like 50 Instagram stories a day, which is too much for me personally. And, I skip through a few, but there's, every once in a while I stop on a couple and I'm like, oh man, this is super inspirational. And honestly, I would say that he's one of the inspirations for me to start this podcast and really get off my butt and get going so that I can be successful and see that success like he does and make my dreams come true like he's making his dreams come true. And they're freaking coming true, dude. And all the post types, I guess, that I talked about earlier, which is funny because that's like a WordPress thing, post type. Anyway, off the subject. If you know what WordPress is and you're a developer, then you might have heard that too, but whatever, totally off subject. The posts that I was talking about with Twitter and Instagram, the type of post that you would like to put up, he's the master of that, man. He shows his day in the life so people get engaged with what he's doing. They care about him. He's just a normal dude. They can relate to him. He's relatable. And then he posts, the kind of stuff where he's like, oh, I'm about to record. I'm so excited. Or he posts the stuff after the recording was like, that was an awesome episode. I'm so excited for you guys to listen to it. And then he also puts up the post of his podcast being up. And it's just like, check it out on Spotify, iTunes, blah, 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 up now. Super simple. But he has a ton of those. You see this guy and you relate to him instantly by looking at his stories. He's talking, he's sincere, he's talking about his goals, he's talking about how excited he is about the future and how grateful he is for the success that he's seen and for the people that keep coming back. They make him who he is, and he does not let anyone forget that, specifically and especially himself. It is amazing. He is the only word that could come to mind is God at this stuff. He knows what he's doing. He's a great hallmark example of what you should be doing with your social media so that you can get your stuff out there and find success fast. Now, it took him a while to get there, obviously, but I would argue that he got there a lot faster than a lot of other people that have been cracking on at YouTube for, 6+ years, right? There's a band that I absolutely love called the Black Keys. They were putting out records for 6 years until they finally saw success. There's a YouTube channel, I think Chris Raygun, he said that, or maybe, Mr. Beast even, I think he's talked about it, that he had been on YouTube for 6 years and didn't see success until, that 6-year mark. And you also have Ninja. I think he said that he had a channel for a long time and then finally saw success, right? The only exception to the rule, as far as I'm concerned, there are two of them. There's two exceptions to the rule. There's freaking PewDiePie, who pretty much saw success immediately because he was doing something that no one else was doing. And then there's Zach Sharmler, who put in an effing butt ton of work, and he got his shiznit out there and didn't skip a beat because of his consistency, right? And his presence, his relatability, and his hard work. Fantastic podcaster, fantastic guy, and a great example of what you should be doing with your social media to get your projects out there, to get people engaged, to get more viewers, and to get excitement built up for your projects, which in turn feeds you to keep getting your stuff done, right? So I'm super excited about that, and that's why I wanted to talk about social media. I struggle with it. I have a really hard time with social media. I have this internal thing where I just like, what's the word? Like, I just can't get over how ingenuine it makes me feel. Now, I never see that in Zach Schaumler's posts. He seems genuine 100% of the time. But me, for some reason, I have this mental block where I'm like, yeah, but people are going to see right through me. They're going to think that I'm just trying to advertise my stuff. You know, it's kind of like that effect when, like, you haven't heard from a freaking high school friend that you, or not necessarily even friend, but some person that you went to high school with. All of a sudden, like, well, it's been 8 years now since I've been to high school. All of a sudden, 8 years later, they're contacting you. Hey, buddy, how's it going? And you're like, oh, great. I know exactly where this is going. You guys shoot the shiznit, you know, you shoot the breeze for a little bit, chit chat. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, have you heard about this? You should totally do this, right? You want to invest in this makeup product, blah, 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 or do you want to invest in this life coach or this success coach so that you can find success in your life? And it's like, dude, you literally just contacted me out of the blue after all these years to freaking get me to invest some money in whatever you're doing. Are you effing kidding me? Right? And that stuff is 100% ingenuine to me, and I have the biggest problem in the world with that. It's so hard, and I hate it. I don't like it at all. And that's exactly how I feel when I'm just posting stuff on Instagram and trying to, get some support for my stuff. And I just, I haven't been able to find a way to really do that without feeling super ingenuine. But watching Zach Schaumler, man, there's the way right there. Just a day in the life, showing your excitement for the stuff that you're doing, trying to be as relatable as possible. And then when the time comes to that you've done, you finished your product and you put it out there for the world to see, then you go ahead and advertise it. But if you're just advertising it and that's it, those are the only posts that you ever put up, I'm just advertising my stuff, then that's where it gets ingenuine. You need to have those other types of posts where you just show your day in the life post, you show your excitement for the stuff that you're working on, then it leads up to the ad. You've earned it. People have related to you, they care about you, you've earned their curiosity, and hopefully they view your stuff. It totally makes sense, and I think that is the perfect formula in a way to get your stuff out there. Now, I need to get over my own insecurities for sure, and that is going to be a part of my goal this week. I also wanted to talk about what not to do, but I feel like that came up organically through that entire conversation. Let me see here. I have some other notes that I'm just going to go ahead and look at right now. How many posts should you make on Instagram stories? It doesn't even matter. On Twitter, probably about 3, at least 3. On Instagram, a regular post that's not an Instagram story, probably just 1. You don't need to do too much more than that, but just some fancy, fun photo that just about any casual glancer will think, oh man, dang, that dude's cute, or that puppy's cute, or whatever, With those, you should probably just be showing some nice posts, not an advertisement, but just some nice posts of you, I would say. Anyway, so I think that's about it for that topic. I think I've said everything that I want to say, and I think that's totally okay with what I've said for sure. Let me go ahead and set the goals this week. I wrote down a few goals. Now, there's going to be a weekly goal that I probably shouldn't even have to say, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway. I want to do 2 more streams, Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 Mountain Time over on, and I'll pimp that out in a second, but I'll do the 2 streams at least an hour. I don't want to do any less than that. I don't want to go over an hour and a half because I have a wife and I want to make sure that I'm giving attention to her, right? Because I am in a 2-way partnership. It's not just me. So there's that goal. Going back to the Killian Core website, I want to start and complete the About page and maybe make a little bit of the tweaks that I thought to do after I finish the homepage and footer. But I want to make those little tweaks and start and complete the About page by the time I record the next podcast. Well, I should probably post photos of like of me achieving my goals on Instagram or something like that. I guess that'll come up with my next goal, actually. Now, with my next goal, I want to make at least 3 posts a day on either Instagram or Twitter. Now, Instagram has a great ability. When you make a post, you can also share it on Twitter. So that's a fantastic little tool that you can use so that you don't have to do it twice in a row. You can just do it on there. Again, I'm not going to focus on Facebook page stuff, but I do have it set up so in the future when I do start doing that, I already have it set up and I won't have to worry about that, which is fantastic. I'm going to take another sip of water real quick. All right. Also, let me just say this. The Contigo, what's it called? Auto Seal water bottle. It is amazing, by the way. It keeps its, metal or whatever. It keeps your beverages cool. It keeps them hot, whatever. And there's this cool auto lock seal thing to where it won't start pouring until you press the button. And it will stop pouring once you release the button. For me, I suck at drinking water. So it's really useful to make sure that I don't spill all of myself like a bumbling buffoon. Okay? So this isn't even a paid sponsorship, but this is my preferred water bottle for anyone who wanted to know, just to let you know. Anyway, I want to make at least 3 posts a day on Instagram/Twitter. Doesn't matter either one, preferably both. And with that tool that I was talking about a second ago, I can easily do 3 on Instagram and 3 on Twitter. Most likely I'll just do 1 Instagram and 3 Twitter. But not only that, I need to get over my apprehension of posting on my Instagram stories. Now obviously I'm doing like kind of 3 things at once. Now I have my normal Instagram channel that's just me, right? Or not channel, but profile, where my friends and family are able to see it. And I have other people that follow me as well. I don't really post too often. I don't get a lot of views on my posts. I don't get a lot of likes on my posts. That's because I don't really do anything, I don't think. I guess I'm not relatable right now. But hopefully I will be able to get to that in a second. I also have the Finley Ghost in a little while with these goals that I'm setting. I have a second Instagram profile called Finley Ghost, which is for my gaming. And I have another one for Cherry Nuke. Now, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where I should be posting on. With regular posts, you can go ahead and share them on a couple of different Instagram profiles that you have. But with Instagram stories, I don't think that's the case. So, I'm thinking of maybe just doing posts on Instagram and sharing them throughout. On Instagram stories, though, I need help deciding. This is my goal. I need to get over my apprehension of posting on my normal profile, my Austin L. Killian profile, talking about my projects. Now that's where the ingenuity? No, that's not the right term. But that's where I feel super ingenuine when I'm talking about my projects on my own Instagram. I feel like they should be separated, but at the same time, I shouldn't, because I shouldn't have to post on 3 different Instagram stories. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I shouldn't have to post on all those. I should only be posting on one, and it should probably be my own Instagram profile on Austin L. Killian. So, that's going to be my goal this week. I want to talk about my projects and my live streams and stuff like that on my own personal Instagram story. So I'm going to try to talk about the projects as I'm doing them. which would probably equate to 3 times a week. And so I haven't started that goal yet, but on Tuesday, I'm going to post about me streaming on my normal profile and being excited about that, and, just talking about how excited I am for it and talking about what's going on with that. And then on Thursday, the same thing for streaming again. And then on the next Friday, on Friday, the next day, I will talk about recording the podcast and how excited I am for that. And I'm hoping that just shows the things that I'm interested in, and hopefully spark up conversation with people that follow me on my own personal Instagram. I don't want to have to separate things anymore, and I don't want to be embarrassed about it. I want people to know that I'm a nerd, and I want them to know that I'm trying to make these dreams happen, because I'm a dreamer, and they should know the real me. They shouldn't just know the me that decides to post about, his kid every once in a while, because those are the only posts that I feel I'm not going to get judged for. But you know what? I'm who I am, and I'm going to post what I'm going to, and I'm going to talk about the things that I'm interested in, because that's what you do, right? That's how you make friends, is talking about the things that you're interested in, and then they share those interests. So, just to recap for my goals, 2 more streams Tuesday and Thursday. Start and complete the About page and make those little tweaks on the Killian website. I'm going to do 3 posts a day on Instagram or on Twitter, and then 1 on Instagram. And then I'm going to talk about the things that I'm working on and just being more present on my normal personal Instagram profile. Those are my goals. You need to hold me accountable for next week. Okay, guys? Thank you. Now, let's go ahead and close this son of a bee out. You guys need to set your goals. Hopefully you guys got your goals achieved last week. I believe in you guys. I'm sure you did. If I can get mine achieved, you guys can get yours achieved. You guys can set whatever your goals. Make sure that they are attainable, though. Don't do too much. Start small and make sure that you're able to accomplish them, because we don't want to set ourselves up for failure, that's for sure. But remember to set your goals, guys, and we will check in next week. I want to talk about that real quick again, since this is what a normal episode is going to be like. I want to put up Instagram posts and Twitter posts asking about your guys' goals and how they're going, and then maybe talking about it on this show. I would love to talk about what you guys are accomplishing and what kind of stuff you guys are working on, and seeing if you guys are actually achieving your goals. That would be fantastic. And especially, I think reporting other people's successes and achieving their goals will help other people get off their butts and achieve their goals as well, and get one step closer to their creative projects being done and put out there and gaining success and growth. So I will pimp out the, Instagram stuff. I should have thought about this before. It might be a good idea to just email in and I can talk about it with you guys. Or actually, Patreon would be a good spot. I'll talk about that in a second. Let me go ahead and this is my section that I have written down in my notes called Pimp Projects. So again, I've talked about it a little bit, but basically I'm just doing this, Inherently Lazy, and I'm streaming on Twitch. Okay, you guys can watch, and also YouTube, I suppose. You guys can go ahead and check out my live streams. I just play video games, nothing super crazy. I kind of want to do some live streams in the future of me building Legos. I think that would be a lot of fun, but I feel like I need a better face cam for that, or a secondary camera for that one. So I'll need to figure that out in the future, but that's something that's definitely on my radar. I think that would be a lot of fun. I guess you guys could let me know if that's something that you would want to see in the future too. But so Tuesdays, let me go ahead and pimp out what I'm doing. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, I stream on twitch.tv and youtube.com/FinleyGhost. You guys can subscribe. You guys can follow. Make sure that you put up the notifications so you guys keep up with me and when I'm streaming. Obviously, you guys can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram for Finley Ghost. It's at Finley Ghost on both, and you guys can see when I'm streaming there. And maybe you guys will be able to, or not maybe, you guys will also be able to see on my own personal Instagram. I'm thinking that I might change the username soon, but as of right now, it's Austin L. Killian. all lowercase, all one word. And you guys can follow me on there to also get updates on that and what I'm doing in life and when I'm posting stuff. And then you guys can also follow Cherry Nuke, which this is a Cherry Nuke product, okay? At Cherry Nuke Prod, all one word, all lowercase, PROD, Prod, at Cherry Nuke Prod. And that's on Twitter and Instagram as well. And I should probably, I got to post all over the place. See, this is where I want to consolidate everything to one, but it's okay. I'll figure it out. I got to get better about this stuff, and I'll build a habit of doing it, and it won't seem so hard next time. But you guys can follow all those social media places. And on top of that, I also have a Patreon. Now, you guys I'm not necessarily looking for support right now. I just kind of wanted to get set up so that in the future, when we've got, some people that, want to support me, I guess if they want to, that everything's already set up and they can do it at any time and any moment. But I kind of want people to submit questions and inquiries on this show on there. So you guys can go ahead and check out patreon.com/cherrynuke. And from there, I will also be posting my podcasts. I will be posting, just little posts talking about my appreciation of everything and talking about, plans for the future. Also, there are different donation levels. There's only 3 donation levels. There's the first donation level that talks about, just kind of exclusive things that I want to talk about for my appreciation and just really reach out to the patrons that support me on there and just letting them know how much I appreciate them and different, just personal letters that I want to write. That's the $1 level. That's what you get for that. The second $1 or the $2 level, you're also able to, you have access to, I might change this in the future, but you have access to polls and inquiries on future episodes. That's, something that I have on there. And basically at that level, you just if there's an episode or something that I think that I want to talk about, but you guys want to talk about other stuff, I'll put up a poll of like 4 different topics and you guys can choose which one you guys want to talk about or want me to talk about, so that you guys can, just have kind of say in how this show goes in the future. And then also I'll be soliciting questions at that level as well from patrons, and they will basically have first pick, and most likely I'll read their questions first and make sure that they're on before people that listen to the free feeds. But obviously, since I don't really have any patrons, that's not necessarily going to be the case right now. And at the $5 level, you get any product that I put out 3 days early. Now, as of now, it's just this podcast, which is inherently lazy. Obviously, you know that because you're listening to it, but whatever. And you will be able to get this podcast 3 days early. I record on Friday. I will put it up on Fridays. And for free feeds for people listening on just like iTunes and all that stuff and not on Patreon, by downloading the RSS feed straight from there, you guys can listen to it on Mondays. Now, with all of that said, that's a lot. I need to refine that whole social media thing. Again, it's kind of the introductory state of this show, so I'm just trying to get everything out there as soon as possible, or like as fast as possible, so that I can just get to the more condensed format of it. But with all that said, I just wanted to take this moment to thank everyone. We had, I think, 5 downloads of the first episode. I also wanted to say that I called it episode 0. I didn't realize that you had to call it episode 1, I guess, on Transistor, which is where I have the RSS feed for this. So this episode is the second episode. Last episode was the first episode, not episode 0. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. But we had 5 downloads now, and we also have a 5-star rating. Thank you so much. I actually know the guy that did that. Thank you so much, Tanner, for supporting me. That's awesome, and it means a lot. And I'm looking forward to the future, and hopefully we'll get some more 5-star reviews or ratings and reviews. And get more downloads. Remember to tell people about the show. If you know anyone who's wanting to get into a creative project and they're just not quite getting going on it and they're kind of lazy, tell them about the show. We can help each other. We can build each other up, and that would be fantastic. If you guys go on to patreon.com/cherrynuke, I will probably post something on there saying or talking about the next episode and what I'm going to be talking about, and get your guys' questions submitted, and hopefully we'll get some questions and I'll be able to talk about them on the next episode and really get a discussion going on the next topic. You guys will know more about that on Monday when I have the topic figured out. And anyway, so that's that. And you guys can just submit your questions there on patreon.com/FinleyGhost. And if you drop $1 or $2 in support, I would be eternally grateful for that. And I think that's it. So again, I'm Austin Killian. That's like the 20th time that I've said that, I believe. Thank you so much for listening. And I look forward to seeing what the next episode's about and listening to you, or getting feedback from you guys. And hopefully you guys tune in next week, next Monday for free feeds, next Friday for Patreon supporters. I will see you next week. I love you so much. Austin out.